Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Monday, February 12th, 2024. Almost 4 years of Torah every single day, of a community that came together from all over the world 990 weekday mornings ago. It has been a blessing to be part of this community, truly from everywhere, with friends from Saudi Arabia, friends from Australia, friends from England and France and Israel, and all over the United States. It has been a blessing, truly a blessing, to be part of this community with all of you. Thank you, Penny, for reminding us it is broadcast 990. Good to see you, Jen. Rosa, good morning. Fabrice sending a hello. Linda and Arlene, Debbie and Jacqueline, Rosa and Linda, good morning, everyone. Debbie and Julianne, Helen and Lydia. Thank you. Yes, Penny. With broadcast 990 right now, we are counting our way to broadcast 1000, which will be February 26th. Linda and Caroline, Ron and Stacy, Boker Tov. Good to see you, Arlene, and Keith and Ashley. Hope you are well. Linda, thank you for reminding us today is the birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Happy birthday, President Lincoln. Valerie, good to see you. Hineni as well. Carl and Minna, Helen, good to see you too. Let's see who else is here, and then we'll get started. Patty and Sunday, Gail and Judy. Shari, good to see you. Hi, Keith. Hi, Bob. All right, friends. With broadcast 990, and day 129 since October 7th. Let's begin. Let's begin. Here we go. All right, friends. Broadcast 990, day 129 since October 7th. Let's begin by saying hello to each other, wishing a happy birthday to Debbie, a happy belated birthday to Patricia, a refuah shlema, healing to Sunday, and sharing with you the sad news that our good friend Adrian Tanner's brother just died. And so sending her comfort. I don't think she's on the broadcast. She's on her way back from California, but sending her all the love in the world from all of us. Let's also take a breath, because as we have been praying every single morning for the release and rescue of our beloved grandparents and babies and children and parents who are still being held by Hamas, it is an exciting morning, and not enough, but worlds of good to see the beautiful faces of Fernando Marman and Luis Har, both of them who were kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th and held hostage until yesterday when they were rescued by the IDF and the Shin Bet. It is very, 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 very good to see their faces, to see them held by their families. Fernando is 61, Luis is 70. They were rescued in an operation just yesterday. They are home. And there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say, but let's say their names one more time. Welcome home, Fernando. Welcome home, Luis. It is so good to have you home. Welcome home. We love you and we've been praying for you. Let's double down, friends, on these prayers, on these efforts, on this work, on this support, on the strengthening of our people's soul. A little bit of hope can go a long way. Welcome home, Fernando. Welcome home, Luis. We are so glad to see you being held by your family, by us. So let's go into some Torah. We get to talk about a new parsha, get to learn about Parshat Terumah today. Terumah literally means donations, gifts, and these are the gifts that we will be hearing about quite a lot when it comes to building the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the portable synagogue, the very first holy space that the self-determining, newly freed Israelites were able to build. And so the details are intense, and I often introduce Parshat Terumah with a recognition that people like me, when we see stereo instructions or even graphic instructions from places like IKEA, it can be incredibly hard to penetrate. I have a hard time with lists and directions, but if we start with a big picture and then we look at the details, we might have a slightly easier time. So let's just remember that this glorious thing that we call the Mishkan, the tabernacle, is a place where God and people meet. The whole purpose of the Mishkan is to have a focus of our communal attention. What is that communal attention about? It's about holding together a community in a time that is hard. The wilderness, the desert where we are at the moment in the Torah, is not a simple place. It's been described by many, including poets like T.S. Eliot, as the wasteland, a wilderness, a place that is hard to survive. And in that place, we come together as a people. We're born in a crucible. And if there's a way to understand Jewish history, and I'm sure other peoples have this as well, but this is our story. We are born in the middle of a crucible. Life is not simple, not in a desert, not in a wilderness. And yes, we survive by miracles. We survive by the manna falling, by quail falling, by water, by miracle appearing from a rock, or from Miriam's graceful presence. We have all of this stuff swirling, and we build the Mishkan, we build the tabernacle as a place to begin instantiating God's presence on earth. Instantiating is a fancy way of saying make real. How do we bring the holiest of spirits into society, into this plane of existence? Said even more simply, as we send positive thoughts, Deborah, to you, and Linda, strength to you. How do we bring God closer to earth? Well, it might be by bringing earth a little bit closer to heaven. We are in the midst of a war, and it's really hard to see these words and to derive, the kind of inspiration that we might during peacetime. So let's be where we are and ask the question again. Day 129 of this terrible war. How do we understand this parsha in this context? What is it to bring heaven 1 inch closer to earth, to bring the earth 1 inch closer to heaven, when so much of what we and our loved ones are experiencing is hell? How do we do that? So I want to offer a few different suggestions, and then I want to look at a few words in the Parsha. First of all, we have to do it. So let's begin not with the can we. Let's begin with how do we? Because we can and we must. And Laura, you said it, positive thoughts are welcomed. That's how we start. Bonnie, you said it too. Positive energy. We show up and we name the places where we need help. Some of us are going through health concerns. We are all going through global concerns, certainly tribal concerns. We show up and we acknowledge the need. By saying, I could use some support. You're calling out to the universe and to friends to show up, and that is actually, the rabbis understand, the way that we imitate God. The Latin for that is imitatio Dei. We imitate God, and we show up. When someone is in need, we show up the way we would hope God would. We do that ourselves. Number two, we create rituals that ground us in this world to make us strong every morning. This 9 o'clock community that has come together 990 times over almost 4 straight years. We were born in a moment of need. UJA gave us the chance, in a very risky way, to go off script, which is not something that philanthropies typically do, to give us the chance to be present with each other, knowing that we would be responding in real time to the world that is hard to predict, even in the best of times. What a gift it is to remember, number one, to name the need, to name the vulnerability. Number two, to create rituals where we can expect each other to be. You aren't alone at 9 o'clock in the morning, and neither am I. And those of us like Catherine who are far away in Australia, Fabrice in Paris, or Masiak in Poland, no matter what time it is for you, it's always the right time for us that you're here. So, name the need, show up the way God would, or the way God should, and know that you can expect community in a predictable way in the midst of the most unpredictable of moments. I'll give you one other way. Take good care of yourself. Have something good to eat, something good to drink. I waited to say this blessing until we would all be together. Blessing God for things being just as they are, which is not good enough, obviously, but you and I, we are part of what makes it better. Looking at the bravery of soldiers who yesterday in this daring rescue operation surrounded the hostages with their bodies, hugging them and loving them and protecting them. If that isn't the Spirit of God through human action, what is? We're here to save each other. We're here to fight for each other's lives and dignity. That's the way things should be. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh bidvaro. So to sum up those how-tos, how to face the world in the middle of incredible intensity. Number one, acknowledge vulnerability. We are really in this moment. Number two, show up the way you would have God show up. Number three, remember you're not alone. By creating community, we create regularity in the most disturbing of moments. Number four, take good care of yourself. Acknowledge the good in the world. Look up at the sky. Feel some gratitude. Not all is lost. This is such a Jewish way of acknowledging gratitude, of expressing it. We say, Od lo avda tikvatenu, we haven't yet lost hope. That is a strange tone to set when we sing our own anthem. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means, despite the world, we will show up with a defiant hope. And we will expect to meet God. We will create the structures with which to meet God. We will acknowledge, as I am so blessed to acknowledge in this one moment, that not only do I have all of you, I have my beautiful daughter, Ariel, here on Instagram. So I get to say hi. Of all the things that I'm grateful for in this moment, I was talking about sky and Torah and some good coffee. Here you are. And here you are. Today, we are celebrating the rescue of 2 grandparents, friends, neighbors, We're celebrating our ability to save ourselves and each other. It is a moment where we meet each other, and in that way we find the divine. Let me read you just a little bit of this parsha, and then we'll wish each other a good day, and we'll learn again tomorrow. Among the furnitures that we build for the Mishkan, for the tabernacle, we build a kaporet, a golden covering for the tablets, for the Ten Commandments on the tablets, and that gold covering sits above the Ark of the Covenant. Just think Indiana Jones if you'd like. And then the Hebrew says, "V'noadati lecha sham v'dibarti itcha me'al hakaporet mibein shnei hakruvim." There I will meet you, says God, and I will impart to you, I will talk to you. V'dibarti itcha, I'll talk to you. From above the kaporet, that cover, between the two kruvim, I will meet you in the space between. This, friends, since the very first moment that we came together as a community. We came together 4 years ago, 990 broadcasts ago, acknowledging the space between us, but knowing that the zeros and ones of computer code could become a bridge between all of us. My daughter's anchoring us in Israel right now. Fabrice is anchoring us in France. Catherine is anchoring us in Australia. And wherever you are, Rosa, I know that you are also a little bit further away, but I don't know where you are right now. Friends from all over the United States, in Florida, and in Columbus, Ohio, and in New York, we are all bound together, but we are also a bridge to each other. We always have been through all of these broadcasts, and this parsha tells me that in the space Rosa, you're in Malta. Now I know how blessed we are. Bless you. Thank you for being where you are and here with us. We have created a bridge across the entire world, and that is where we find God too. Whatever God means to you, God at the very least means there is more than me in this world, more than me that matters. We are a people. We are a family. That is incredibly important. So when we pray, as Bonnie just wrote, bring them all home now. Look at what we are. Look at who we are. Look at not just our endurance, but our ability to take care of each other, to lift each other up, to bless each other with health, to know that we are united, and to know that you can expect all of us present. Broadcast 990. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. What's the reward for learning 1,000 times? 1,000 more times to learn. What's the gift of a community? Having community. What's the gift of connecting across all of this space? Meeting God. Whatever that means to you, it means for me that I've got you. Bless you, friends. Let's together double down on the beauty of the moment that we were granted, thanks to the heroism of the IDF, of the Shin Bet, and the Israeli police. Bless you, Fernando Marman. Bless you, Louise Har. Welcome home. And now we can, with even more hope, say what we've been saying for 129 days. We can pray what we've been praying for 129 days with a little bit more hope. Bring them home now. Bring the rest of them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Sing, friends. Sing. Kolon baleva penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefate mizrach השמימה, עין לציון צופיה. עוד לא עבדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, friends. Take care.